Hello friend, thanks for being here. Today I want to speak about commitment. I had some big conversations with my friend Tris and Jator on my podcast Rebranding God, and I will highly recommend that you check those episodes. I'll put the link to those episodes right below this video. And on those conversations we spoke about this trend that we're seeing in our culture, which concerns us, coaches, teachers, which is the trend of this lack of commitment with relationships, relationship with the self. So there's a lack of commitment with the inner work, with our healing, transformation, and also there's a lack of deep commitment in relationships, friendships, and also romantic relationships. To narrow down, today I'm going to speak more about the commitment to self-work, to our inner healing that is so important. In this culture of fast results, instant rewards, most people want quick results. As my friend Tris would say, we are living this culture of shortcutting. A lot of people want shortcut and don't want to do the work that is required to heal or emotional wounds from the past or limiting beliefs. And especially with this movement now of psychedelics, which I love. I am a big fan. I share openly that I have used them to help myself in my healing journey. They're beautiful allies. But my concern is a lot of people are going to be using medicines, plant medicines that are sacred, that need to be respected, as a shortcut as well. That will be another video that I'm going to speak about that. But there's no shortcut. We need to recommit to our self-healing, to our inner work. Because I'm seeing something that deeply concerns me. People are giving up relationships. People are lonely. People are isolating. It is still a side effect of the pandemic. And people are giving up friendships because of fear of being hurt. People don't want to deep friendships. People don't want to commit to romantic relationships because of this fear of being hurt. And we all know where this fear comes from. Number one, we all have been hurt, emotionally injured, mentally injured in romantic relationships. But this goes way back. Our first wounds around relationships came in our childhood, when love got associated with conditions, associated with hurt, associated with loneliness, associated even with abuse, neglect. So let's face it, I can say all of us, none of us, learn what love really means in our childhood. We learn a very distorted view of love. And therefore, many of us enter relationships that were not healthy for us. We stayed much longer because we all were seeking filling up this hole that was left in all of us in our childhood. It's time to stop seeking somebody outside of yourself to fill up this hole. I'm not saying here that safe, loving relationships don't help us to heal. They do, but we need to start that walk ourselves. And most people are seeking for this fulfillment outside. The analogy I make is this. Imagine you own a big plot of land, a farm, and you never care to learn how to grow your own food. So you walk miles every day, you pursue people to give you their food, to maybe sell their food, and you're depleting yourself over and over, depleting your resources because you're depending on others to give you nourishment, to give you nutrition. And one day you're just exhausted. People don't want to give you food anymore, or people are not being nice to you because you keep asking for food over and over and over. And one day you realize that you plant some seeds on your ground, in your own land, and you start growing your own food. And you realize that all the food that you've been looking for outside your land, all the food and nourishment you need is in your own land. And once you start growing that food, you create a community where you and your neighbors, your families, your friends all start communing and sharing their food together. And that's love. So this is an analogy that means when you unleash this love that is within you, your fertile soil of love, which is your heart, you start falling in love, knowing yourself, learn how to ignite this love inside yourself. You start giving more love. You open your heart to receive love, and it's like this love fast. Just like you have with food, you have this love fast with everybody. You fall in love with your own heart, and you start falling in love with humanity. I experienced this. I'm somebody who, for most of my life, looked for love outside myself. And I'm not alone on this. That's why I can teach, because I've been through this. And it's something I work on every day, because it's very easy to go back to those old habits, even old addictions that are codependence, that depend on somebody else to make me happy. And that doesn't work anymore, my friends. We need to release this fear of being hurt and unleash this love within. So there's some misperceptions about this inner work. There's the misperceptions that if I just focus on my heart, on my healing, I'm being selfish. Well, the only way I'm going to become selfless is by first becoming selfish. Selfish meaning I have to go inside myself and understand, explore my own wounds, my childhood wounds, where my limiting beliefs came from, so I can understand the patterns that kept showing up in my relationships. Why do we get in toxic relationships? Why do we stay in dysfunctional, unhappy relationships? Because of our self-worth issues, because of our misperceptions about love. Why do we allow people not to treat us properly? Where do we teach people not to treat us well? So we're not victims. So this is in a way a reclamation of our power, that we all have this love inside ourselves. We need to heal. If you jump from one relationship to another and to another without giving proper time in between to own your own stuff, to take radical responsibility for your participation, you won't heal. So we need to commit to the inner work. There's no other way. Another misperception about inner work is that it's too hard. It takes too much time. Okay, yeah, there are times that are hard. There are times that I'm doing this work and I'm crying. There are times I'm doing this work that I'm scared. But it passes. And what is harder? Suffering is much harder than temporary pain. Pain is necessarily. We gotta go through that pain. We gotta feel that pain that's been trapped in our bodies for a long time. If I don't address this pain that has been trapped in my body for a long time, then unconsciously I'm choosing suffering. So what heart do you choose? A heart that's temporary and it gives you growth, evolution, wisdom, opens your heart so you connect with everybody, you find that romantic love that you've been looking for? I choose the heart, because the other one, it's closing your heart, is living a state of protection because you're afraid of being hurt. And yeah, you might protect yourself from being hurt, but you're also going to protect yourself from experiencing the most important thing in our lives, or purpose in this life, which is one purpose: love. Love is our purpose. So my question to you is, what are you committed to? Are you committed to fear, or are you committed to love? I'm not saying you're getting up in the morning, you're committing to fear, but unconsciously we all have been committed to fear. We all have been in agreements with fear. If I choose to live in a state of protection, not open my heart, not to be vulnerable with somebody, I am actually committing to fear. And I'm living in a state of protection where I close my heart. And this is breaking our society, because people are lonely, they're isolating, people are afraid of people. And that's got amplified in our pandemic. And this concerns me. We can't be afraid of each other. We need to restore our sense of community. We need each other. Another misperception of this commitment thing is this movement that we had in empowerment, that we think we need to be super independent. No, we're not wired to be super independent. We are wired to work together and to depend on each other. Yes, we can be self-empowered, grow your own food, and then commune with your neighbors and share the food when they have and you don't have, and when you have and they don't have, and exchange, feed each other. But we are wired to also be dependent on each other. Without love, we die. Without love, we die. We die of loneliness. We die of depression. This is proved scientifically that people who are lonely, they die earlier. We flourish, we thrive in love. So we need to restore love. Another misperception of this work is this idea that I shouldn't focus on the past. Let's move on. What matters is today. There's only the present. And it's true. There's only the present moment. But if in my present moment I am projecting my fear because I was hurt in the past, my past is showing up in my present moment. I need to deal with that. That's my work with my clients. I see what's showing up in their present life, and we trace back the root of the problem, the root of the issue, and then it gets healed, it gets transmuted, it gets transformed. And the more we release, the more space we have for love. That is the path walking back to love. When I walk back to my heart, I return to love, to my essence. From here, I can walk with others. It's not walking towards others because they're going to give me something that I don't have. Then the path becomes you walk with others, you hold hands together, you hold hands with your family, you hold hands with your friends, you hold hands with your beloved partner. And in this rich soil, we get to grow and flourish together. So this video, it's an ask. It's asking you to commit to this return to love, to commit to your inner work, to dissolve this fear of hurt, this fear of pain, to abandon yourself in love, because there's so much intelligence in love. I'm not talking about this Hollywood love that you're going to become stupid and fool. I am talking about the highest intelligence. This system here, our heart is not just a pump. There is a whole system here of intelligence. This is our connection with Source. This is our connection with the cosmos. This is our connection with God. The intelligence of the heart guides us and solves and dissolves all our problems. When we align, we create coherence. Funny that I'm wearing this t-shirt today. When we create coherence between the heart and the brain, where the heart is the master and the brain, the head becomes the servant, and there's coherence between the heart and the head, we become unstoppable. The amount of insights, intuition, ideas, safety and security that you have, it's unbelievable. A lot of us pursue external money, relationships, or other things to give us a sense of safety and security. I am the safety and security. The safety and security is your heart. When you anchor in this love of your heart, you no longer fear being hurt. You will get hurt because we get attached. As a human form, we get attached. As much as we want to say, I don't want to attach to anything, we will. But by returning to your heart, to this connection with Source, where it's unconditional love that fulfills your entire system with love, you don't stay in that place of hurt. And when you have your heart fully open, the amount of love you receive from your friends, from your community, it's abundant. It flows all the time. So if you're interested in learning more about this work, how to release this fear and commit fully to love, which is the only way we're going to heal our planet, we're going to heal our communities, it starts here. I cannot expect to live in a world of love if I haven't even spent time discovering this love within myself. with God, which is the most important relationship of our lives, the relationship with myself. And from this place, I can show up fully to my friends, to my beloved partner, and it's rich. It is beautiful. And it involves sometimes hurt. It involves hard conversations. It involves vulnerability. But when you anchored in this love, you're grounded in this love, nothing will break you. You'll be hurt and it will pass because you anchor in constant love, because the love no longer depends on somebody outside yourself. But from this anchor place in love, you get to experience the beautiful love that so many people want to give you. And you get to experience by giving back as well. Because giving is receiving, receiving is giving, is all the same. You just open the flow. There's no, it's not a business transaction anymore. It's just constantly flow of love. So that's what I want to share today. If you're more interested in learning this process of deep work, healing, returning to love, releasing this fear of being hurt so you no longer live in protection, I'm starting a group in 2 weeks, September 7. I'm starting 6 weeks masterclass teaching people how to let go of the fear of getting hurt, how to stop living in protection. It's going to be module 1. Of course, this topic of fear is huge, but we're going to focus for 6 weeks just in this particular issue of fear of being hurt. Where in 6 weeks, you're going to have a chance to work with me in a small group and start releasing, starting addressing the root of this fear. So we can all start holding arms together and heal ourselves, heal our families, our communities, and leave a legacy behind where we can heal this planet. So thank you so much. If you're interested in learning more about this course, just check the link below this video. Thank you so much. Namaste.